Welcome to the Solimi Dreams channel. Gently turn off the lights in your room, slip on your headphones or set the volume just right and close your eyes. I hope sleep finds you peacefully, perhaps even before the story comes to an end. So now, without delay, let me softly begin tonight's story. The Perfect Wife. Jason Summers was a gentleman. Tall, quiet, and unassuming, he'd lived his entire life trying desperately to avoid conflict. His mild-mannered nature made him likable among colleagues, though he rarely voiced his thoughts, preferring to remain comfortably invisible. That was how he survived. That was how he coped. It was also, unfortunately, how he'd become trapped in the marriage from hell. When Jason met Melissa, he initially thought her assertiveness was charming. She spoke with conviction, moved through life with a purpose he secretly envied. And from their first date, he was captivated by her strength. However, what seemed captivating soon twisted into control, and admiration became silent obedience. Melissa dictated every aspect of Jason's life, from what he wore to where he went and who he spoke to. Everything required her approval. Any deviation was met with harsh criticism, delivered with icy precision. Jason endured silently, finding excuses for her constant dominance. Perhaps she had high standards, or perhaps she simply knew best. Deep down, he knew better. Something was fundamentally wrong with Melissa. It was on their 5th wedding anniversary that things took a more sinister turn. Melissa insisted on celebrating at home. Jason prepared dinner meticulously, desperate to avoid another tirade. The table was set perfectly, candles flickering softly against the dim dining room walls. Melissa sat rigidly, eyes critical, scanning every inch of Jason's anxious face. "Are you happy, Jason?" Her voice was deceptively calm, holding the edge of hidden knives. He hesitated. "Of course, Melissa. Very happy." Her smile twisted slightly, eyes gleaming strangely in the candlelight. "You're a terrible liar." Jason's heart froze, his mouth dry. "I'm sorry, I didn't mean..." She slammed her hand violently on the table, plates rattling. "Stop apologizing." Her voice distorted strangely for a fraction of a second, deep and guttural. Jason blinked, startled. She stared back coldly as if nothing had happened. "I'm tired," Melissa finally whispered, regaining her composure. "We'll continue this tomorrow." She rose slowly, vanishing into the darkness upstairs. Jason sat paralyzed, trembling, confused. He replayed the sound in his mind. A voice not entirely human. Something primal, dark and angry. That night, sleep evaded him. He lay awake staring at the ceiling, heart thudding painfully in his chest. Suddenly, he heard whispers emanating from the bedroom closet. Barely audible, yet unmistakably Melissa's voice, but distorted, unrecognizable. Quietly, Jason slipped out of bed, approaching the closet door slowly, dread pooling in his stomach. He pressed his ear to the door, heart hammering. "You must be patient," Melissa hissed. Her voice seemed to reverberate, layered and monstrous. "He suspects nothing yet. Soon." Jason's hands shook violently as he stepped back. His breath caught sharply in his throat, panic surging. Before he could retreat, the closet door slowly creaked open. Darkness stretched before him, dense and impenetrable. "Melissa," he called weakly. No response. Cautiously, Jason reached into the dark space, his fingers brushing cold, damp cloth. He fumbled for the switch, flipping it anxiously. The dim bulb flickered to life, revealing nothing out of place. Just neatly organized clothes, perfectly hung. Confused, he turned back to the bed. Melissa sat upright, staring silently at him, her face pale, eyes impossibly wide, unblinking. "What are you doing?" Her voice trembled oddly. I thought I heard." "You shouldn't have done that," she spoke with chilling calm. Jason stared in horror as her mouth slowly widened, stretching grotesquely, unnaturally. Her eyes sank deeply, becoming hollow, black voids. Her skin tightened over bones that seemed to shift beneath, emitting terrible cracking sounds. Jason stumbled backward, horror-struck. "Melissa!" She lunged forward, stopping inches from his face, breathing hot, foul air. "Don't," she hissed, "ever spy on me again." In an instant, Melissa returned to normal, expression softening to her usual scowl. Jason stood frozen, terrified beyond comprehension. The next day, Jason quietly planned his escape. He didn't know what Melissa was, but he knew he couldn't stay. Her monstrous image haunted him every waking moment. Feigning illness, he took leave from work, waiting until Melissa left for the office. Immediately, he began frantically packing. His hands shook violently, desperation surging. Suddenly, the front door slammed shut, startling him violently. Melissa stood behind him, eyes narrowed coldly. "Where are you going?" "Melissa, please," Jason pleaded softly, voice trembling. "I can't do this anymore." Her laughter sliced through him, sharp and mocking. "You think I'd let you leave?" "Melissa, Inhumanly quick, she grasped him, fingers painfully tight around his throat. Jason gasped, choking. "You weak, pathetic fool," she whispered viciously. Her voice layered into multiple horrific octaves. Jason struggled futilely against her grip, vision blurring. Suddenly, a knock on the door interrupted her. Melissa's eyes darkened, narrowing angrily. She released Jason abruptly, turning slowly to answer the door, her mask of perfection returning instantly. Jason collapsed, gasping, watching helplessly as Melissa greeted a neighbor with cheerful precision. He crawled weakly away, heart hammering, desperately searching for escape. Melissa closed the door softly. "Jason?" Her tone syrupy sweet. Adrenaline surged through him. Jason sprinted toward the basement, slamming and locking the heavy door behind him. He stumbled into darkness, fumbling for a hiding place. The basement was damp, cluttered with old furniture and boxes. Heart racing, he squeezed behind dusty shelves, shivering uncontrollably. The basement door rattled violently. Melissa's distorted growl reverberated through the wood. "You think you can hide from me?" Jason covered his mouth, stifling his terrified breathing. The rattling ceased abruptly. Silence fell heavily, oppressive and dreadful. Then the sound of scraping metal, slow and deliberate, echoed into the basement. A blade carving through the door. Terror flooded Jason's mind. As he backed away, his foot struck something cold, heavy. Reaching down, his trembling hands found an old toolbox. He desperately grasped a rusted screwdriver, clutching it tightly. Melissa burst through the shattered door, now transformed fully into a monstrous form. Her limbs elongated grotesquely, skin gray and torn, revealing glistening sinew beneath. Her face distorted horribly, mouth filled with rows of sharp, needle-like teeth. "Jason," she snarled cruelly, "I warned you." She lunged, claws extended. Jason screamed, instinctively driving the screwdriver forward. It pierced her shoulder, causing Melissa to shriek inhumanly. Thick black liquid oozed from the wound. She recoiled, eyes blazing with fury. Jason scrambled toward the basement stairs, sprinting wildly through the ruined doorway. Behind him, Melissa's monstrous form rose, howling in rage, quickly recovering. Jason ran blindly into the kitchen, panic driving him forward. Melissa crashed after him, tearing through walls like paper. Desperately, Jason snatched a large kitchen knife, spinning wildly as she charged again. She halted, dark eyes narrowing hatefully. "You're mine, Jason, forever." "No," Jason shouted defiantly. "Never again." She lunged viciously, claws slashing. Jason plunged the knife deeply into her chest. Melissa shrieked, thrashing violently, her monstrous form collapsing into writhing shadows. Her screams echoed terribly, resonating through the house, fading slowly into silence. Jason stared, trembling violently as her monstrous form disintegrated into dust. Silence returned. Jason collapsed onto the floor, breathless and shaking. Outside, dawn began breaking softly, sunlight illuminating the ruins of his former life. He stood slowly, stepping carefully through the debris. For the first time, he breathed deeply, unburdened by fear. But as he reached the front door, something stirred quietly behind him. A soft whisper echoed chillingly through the house. "You'll never truly escape me." Jason's blood froze as he turned slowly. Melissa stood at the foot of the stairs, human again, immaculate, smiling sweetly. "You'll always be mine," she whispered coldly. And as her perfect smile widened impossibly once more, Jason knew with sickening certainty he would never escape. I hope you've already drifted off into a peaceful sleep. If not, I truly hope the upcoming stories on my channel will help you get there. If you enjoyed this one, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I'd be so happy if you liked and shared this video with your friends. It means a lot and gives me the encouragement to keep creating more stories like this.